This is a message for the single girlies in their 30s. I have something that you absolutely have to hear, and this is coming from someone that met my husband at 35.
Before we dissect how this entire panel completely lost touch with reality, click that subscribe button right now and lock into the network for your daily dose of unfiltered logic. Now, look closely at the exact second her emotional argument completely falls apart under real-world pressure.
I've recently learned that the reason why it's so difficult for me to state my needs in a relationship or tell someone how I'm really feeling or ask someone to do something differently is because I am used to quite literally asking for nothing in relationships. So even asking for one tiny thing feels like I'm asking for the world. And I pretty much gone my entire life thinking like, okay, well, I'm just being too problematic, I'm being too much, I'm being too needy if I'm asking for people to change, which has really only led to me abandoning myself and making me resent people and stay in situations way longer than I should have. But something else that really has stuck out to me recently is that the reason why it feels too much for me, the reason why I still get scared after all these years to tell people what my needs are is because majority of the time, even when I tell them my needs, they don't follow through with actually being able to meet them for me. So then at that point, I'm like, well, what's the point of even verbalizing to someone what I want or what I need if they don't care, if they're not going to change? And so it almost just perpetuates this cycle of me not wanting to tell anyone anything about how I'm feeling because in my mind I'm like, okay, well, they don't care, they're not going to change. Meanwhile, I know for a fact that if somebody were to do the same to me, if somebody were to be like, hey Alexa, I don't like the way that you hardly talk to me throughout the day, or like, hey, I'd appreciate if you did this a little bit more, I know for a fact that I would try to be more consciously aware of my actions to make sure that that person felt more secure in our relationship. And so continuously, time after time, when I don't have the same done to me, again, I just sit there and I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. It doesn't even matter. My needs don't matter. Like, this is as good as it's gonna get, which I know logically that's not true, but that's just the story that I've attached after so many times of having to go through this experience. I don't even know if this makes sense, but basically to me, it just kind of seems like a waste of time at this point to even bother telling people specific things that I need to feel good or to feel secure, because they end up not caring anyway or changing their behavior. And I know people are going to hear that and be like, well, just walk away and find someone else. But I don't know. I just don't have the mentality that there is like a perfect person out there. I genuinely think that all of us should be able to take feedback and criticism and apply it, especially if we want to be in relationships with other people, and that can even be friendships too. You have to be willing to compromise on certain things with other people if you want your relationships with them to work. So I don't know, I feel like I have been trying so hard recently to get better at stating my needs because, like I said before, I used to ask for nothing and be like the chill girl. But even though I have been stating my needs more clearly and quite literally telling people like, this is what I need, it still doesn't really make a difference. So now I'm just sitting here like, wait, am I too needy? Am I asking for too much? Which I know I'm not, but it's like, again, if these are really that simple, why aren't they happening?
I think one of the reasons that me and so many women in their 30s are single is because we don't want to train men. I was talking to my girlfriend the other day about this guy that I've been talking to who isn't quite acting as I would expect. And she was like, oh, that's trainable. That's not necessarily a deal breaker. Sometimes they just need a little bit of coaching. What if I don't want to be a coach? Why have we normalized training men? Why would I want to be with someone who I have to teach how to treat me? I didn't have to be trained. I have so many amazing girlfriends who didn't have to be trained. So why are we okay with the idea that we have to train our boyfriends? Now, I'm not saying that relationships don't take communication. Obviously, if you have expectations of your partner, you have to make them known. But I think the idea of training men is a modern day way of saying I can change him. And I think that leads women to settle. If I wanted to train something, I would get a dog.
Girl, nobody told me that I was gonna want to start to date younger men in my 30s, like 25 and 32. Does that really go? Like, is it smart? Because I'm just like, I love your pursuit. I love your energy. I love your high testosterone. I love your ambition. I love that you're not super jaded and you go after what you want. And I'm here and I'm receiving and I'm appreciating. But where are you at in life? Like, are you going to want to have kids soon? Because, my clock is a little different than yours. So where are we at? Like, is this a smart decision? Or how do we navigate this? Like, I'm asking for my girls in my 30s. How are you doing it? And even if you are in your 30s, like, did you marry them? Did you marry the 25-year-old? Does that work out? Like, how does it pan? I need to know.
Now that I'm 33 and I'm dating again, one of the biggest differences between dating in my 20s and dating in my 30s, when I was dating in my 20s, I really just thought most guys I was dating were probably going to end up being my boyfriend. And I was like a month in and shocked when they would ghost me. And I was like, oh my God, this is so crazy. Like, they were definitely the one. Because at that time, I didn't have a knowing in my body of like what I was really looking for. I didn't know what it felt like to feel no anxiety. Now that I've had a couple serious relationships, I actually have like a really strong knowing in my body of what it feels like when a man is sure about you. When a man is obsessed with you, it is so clear. You've never felt more clear-minded. All your anxiety goes away. It is so obvious. They are so consistent. They show up. They do all the things that like girls say, like you'll just know when you know, you know. And before I had that, I literally just thought that dating was meant to be like this anxiety feeling in your body. Like you just kind of go on dates and like perform. I remember in season 1 of Sex and the City when Carrie's like dating Big, and this is how I always knew that like Big was never her guy, is like she says at one point, she's like, I find myself posing. It's exhausting. When you meet your person, you are so comfortably, casually yourself. I remember like not wearing makeup really early on into my last relationship, and I was like, wow, I just know that this guy is like so into me that that's not even a worry for me. There always can be guys in between if you're just dating and you're like looking to entertain someone or have fun or a little attention. Like, I don't know. I don't really think there's anything wrong with that. But once you know what it feels like to have a man so sure about you, you can never go back. There is no going back. If a man is obsessed with you, I'm sorry, that is the base level. For my next relationship, they have to be obsessed with me. That's like the beginning stages, and then we go from there.
This is a message for the single girlies in their 30s. I have something that you absolutely have to hear, and this is coming from someone that met my husband at 35. I got married at 38 and just had my first baby at 39. So I get it. It is rough out there, and this is what you need to hear. I just got off the phone with my younger brother who is 37. He lives here in Austin. I asked him, what are you up to tonight? It's a Thursday. And he said that he has 2 of his guy friends coming to his apartment, and together they're gonna practice a new recipe because one of these guys met a girl online dating and wants to make this recipe for her. And so they're all gonna make it together and make sure it's good enough. Are you kidding? Like, how wholesome and amazing and sweet. And I just couldn't help but share this because I know how it feels to think like all the good guys are gone. And these are 3 guys in their mid to late 30s that have great jobs. They are single, never been married, no kids, and they're looking for their wives. They're looking for their soulmates. They want to have families. And I just had to share this because I remember that feeling of there are no good guys left. They've all been married in their late 20s and it's too late for us. And it is not too late. So if you are seeing this, don't give up hope. I know for sure there are 3 amazing, attractive, successful men in Austin that are looking for single gals in their 30s. So don't give up.
So I've got this problem. My dad is so wonderful and has been so great to my mom growing up and has been such a prime example of what a husband and father should be. Trying to find that in the year of our Lord 2026. I'm about to call it. Some examples. And this is bare minimum. Like, if I have a red-eye flight or if I need to go to the airport at 2:30 in the morning, my dad's like, doesn't even ask, doesn't even talk about it, just he's up and he's sitting at the kitchen counter, coffee, reading a book, waiting for me to be ready. Doesn't rush me, just says, let me know when we're leaving. That's what I expect. Like, my mama, she's an amazing woman, has an amazing career. He's had an amazing career. They are both power couple. My grandma called it equally yoked. And I've just seen them work rooms, if you will, the phrase together, you know, thousands of people sometimes in a room in this giant, you know, different things that we've done over the years as a family. And he'll just let my mom shine. He'll just hold her bag, hold her purse, and he and I are in the back, and we just let her shine because, you know, she's amazing and she deserves it. And she lets him shine, and she sits in the back and, you know, holds his whatever phone or whatever he needs while he's doing his thing. And they both just take turns just sharing their light with people, and they're just gentle with each other. They're quiet, they're calm. I mean, everyone has different relationships, and I hope mine has my own flair to it. But my baseline is what he showed me, which is gentle care. And he was in the colonel in the army, you know, an amazing career, top of his game in everything in life. But he's so humble and just like a humble, gentle king, and has a heart of gold, loves just wants to take care of people, adores his family, would give the shirt off his back. My mother's the same way, and I'm the same way. And I'm just out here dating, and these men, boys, children, they're like they're so excited to be like, look, I got the car door. Look, I got the restaurant door. I'm like, I get the restaurant door for anyone. I get I'm looking for someone. Here's the thing. Men. Us women, we want to be seen and heard, right? And to be seen, to be loved is to be seen, and to be seen is to be loved. And what that means is essentially it goes down, it just better understanding language for men who just have, and I don't blame a lot of these men. They don't have a reference point or like great educational data to discover said information. Like my dad was just born this way and came out really wonderful, had an amazing dad. My grandfather was amazing. But you have to notice things. You have to observe, right? You have to listen. You have to care. And if you don't care enough, let the person go. Leave them alone. If you don't think you have the time and energy to notice what they put in their coffee, to want to pick them up at the airport, to view that time, that 6-hour drive, 12-hour drive in the car to do something for the other person without them even having to ask, because you of course you want to go and be part of their special whatever. That is what true love is. It's not just showing up with flowers one time and calling it a day. I mean, it is being there. It is even if you don't know the words of what to say during hard times, just sitting there in silence and being present, just being a rock, being available. I just know if I call my dad at any time, unless he's golfing and doesn't know where his phone is, like he's always available. He's there. If I say, I need you to be here tomorrow and we need to make this work, he's like, okay, I'm looking at flights now. And I know a lot of this has to do with situation in life and financial, whatever. You can do this without having a humongous bank account. Yes, it's great to be able to take your partner out to dinner and these amazing shows and, show and treat someone in that way. But it's also just be present, acts of service, right? The love language is, for me, I think, words are great, gifts nice, but quality time and care and being seen, that is really it. It's like the acts of service and being present and just caring and listening and knowing and not having to be told, right? Like as a woman, we just want to know that you're on board, you're where we're at. So we don't have to constantly look back and grab your hand and pull you, right? Like I recently was dating someone where they just constantly walked ahead of me. And I'm like, and sometimes this is a sign of narcissism. Sometimes it's just a sign of cluelessness, which both not great. But it's just more, clearly this person and I aren't vibing, because when you want to be with someone, and like everyone says, you only have to pick one person for the rest of your life. So I'm not going to pick someone that I'm like, I wish they walked near me. No, I'm going to pick someone that wouldn't dream of stepping in front of me, just wants to hold my hand and wants to bump shoulders with me and giggle. And even if we're in a fight or something, we're quiet and we're at least together and present and near each other. We want to share that space. I don't know. I could go on for ages and ages, but I'm just learning. And I always tell my mom this. I'm like, there's just no one like that. I was just blessed with an amazing father figure, an amazing, wonderful family, wonderful upbringing. And these men out here, whether to no fault of their own or fault of their own, they just don't have, and this goes beyond yearning and stuff and sweet stuff like that. It's just like common care, like empathy and the grit and desire to make things work and to go the extra mile because they want something long lasting and have longevity and love. And I just won't settle. I won't find anything if it's not that. And I'm learning in my older age here, it is so hard to find.
People ask me how I stay hopeful when I'm single in my 30s, and here is my answer to that. I get it, right? Like sometimes you have days when you just feel like, I'm never going to find anybody. I am going to be the only one left who's single. I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life. Those thoughts definitely come up for mostly everybody, I think. But the thing that keeps me hopeful is that is a choice. Being hopeful is a choice. believing in something that's greater than yourself, and that's not necessarily even God or something religious. It could just be that you believe in love. Remaining hopeful takes more courage than it does to not. Because being hopeful is believing in something that you can't see. And believing in something you can't see is difficult for a lot of people. A lot of people believe in evidence and facts. I know that's not exactly the answer that anybody wants to hear. But that is how I remain hopeful. Because hope is in something that you can't see. And there's no evidence in it. But when you do, and you can hold on to that hope and hold on to that faith, it could get you through a lot.
I just need to vent, because why am I always the second option? Every single time, I swear, I'm always the backup option. I'm always the option until a different option comes around. And I get it, I have a complicated life and headstrong. I have 3 kids. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a single mom with 2 baby daddies. I understand all of that. It's not an easy situation. And the ones that I, want to give me a chance, they just treat me like shit. And then the ones that are not interested at all, those are the ones that are like, there's some of us out here that are trying and you just aren't giving us a chance. Well, Bob, you're 67 years old. What do you want me to do? Of course I don't want to give you a chance. Yes, I'm not dating my father. What do you want from me, Mark? You're sexualizing my body before you even have a conversation with me. What do you expect from me? User 6547829118512. I don't even know your first name. Who are you? What do you look like? Of course I'm not giving you a chance. Like, let's use our brains a little bit here, guys, okay? The only people I actually give a chance are people that I've had face-to-face conversations with. Even if we haven't met in real life, we've FaceTime, we've been on the screen, we've been face-to-face with each other. You can't connect over a DM. Especially if you're not even my type in the first place. I don't know who you are. We're not friends. You don't have a profile picture. Your name's not in your bio. And your username says Big Daddy Mac. Hey, can I take you out to dinner? No, who are you? Of course no woman is gonna go out on a date with you. But when you actually have a conversation or you're talking to someone and then they pick somebody else, that's when you're justified in saying, I never get picked or whatever you guys want to complain about. Women don't feel safe. That's why they're not going out with you. It's not your personality. It's not that you're ugly. You haven't made her feel safe enough to go out with you. Stop blaming it on the women. And it's probably your own doing. I get picked second though. And I see them in person or over the phone or FaceTime. So that what does that say about me, I guess?
I just had to hang up on somebody because it was like, this conversation's literally going nowhere, and you're really, I am biting my tongue trying to continue to still be kind with you, okay? We live 2 completely different lifestyles, but just because I don't live the lifestyle that you live does not make my experience or what I have to go through any less. Okay, that we are 3 years apart. Now I completely understand what my sister means when she says, I'm 3 years older. There is a difference between a senior and a freshman in high school, okay? I am 3 years older than this person, okay? They are still very fresh in their Saturn return, in a sense. They're getting their life together. They're not drinking as much, and they don't smoke weed, even though they drink every single day. And every time I would talk to them in the morning, I smoke my weed all the time. And it's just dude, I am not gonna let a white man try to talk to me like I don't know shit about life, and that he's saying that every time I talk to you, you're resting or you want to do this or you do that, and it's no. Do not paint that narrative like I'm lazy. Motherfucker, I work 2 jobs, I'm in school, I got other responsibilities, but every time I catch you, this is the thing, I do my shit during the day. And at night, when it's time to rest, I'm not out going to the bar, drinking, partying. You prioritize partying, and I prioritize a steady lifestyle, okay? I have friends that I don't talk to every single day, okay? The only reason why I'm hitting you up every single day is because the communication has been constant. I'm not asking anything from you at all, okay? We live different lifestyles. You live the party, hectic, chaotic, crazy lifestyle, which is fun for vacation. You say island time, but dude, I live in reality where bills need to get paid, responsibilities need to be governed, and
I'm sorry, I'm not going out every single night to catch a drink with somebody because, like, oh, I have time, I have life now, and I want to live my life right now, and I want to spend the time with the people around me. Cool, great, so happy for you. Deadass, I hope you get everything that you want in life. But, like, do not take your experience and make mine less, like, trying to talk to me, like, all arrogantly. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Literally, I had to hang up on this person, and I don't like hanging up on people because I think it's, like, mad disrespectful, but, like, now you don't deserve my respect. Like, who the fuck do you think you are, dude? Dead ass. Who do you think you are?
The exposure doesn't stop here. If you want to see exactly what happens when these identical double standards face reality on the pavement, click the video on your screen right now. Let's keep analyzing the metrics. Stay grounded.